What is good, everybody? Let me switch on over here. Carbon Vibe. Salute, my friend. Lunch gang in the building. What's good? So, little change of pace. I haven't been able to really talk to you guys. Every time I get live, I'm doing it for something specific, and I talk some bullshit. You know, I go through what I'm going through, but I'm really just getting lost in the sauce for the most part. You know, I talk, we bullshit, but yeah, for the most part. Here we go. Mr. Space. Yeah, we're putting the kibosh on Phantom Friday just because the scheduling thing is running into our Hip-Hop Undead album production. And I guess we could start there since you brought it up. So we're getting rid of the Phantom again. And it's not really like a contentious, one thing or another with it. It's just I'm trying to find somebody local, like within the Portland area or even Seattle, just because I want to make sure that it goes to the right person. It's served its purpose in our world, but for somebody else, doing more sound design with it, yeah, it's definitely something that somebody could use more than myself. And there's other things that we need here. But we've already discussed this for the most part. I've said things here and there about one thing or the other. But that's the reason of doing this, is because really haven't got it all together and put it all in one place. Plus, there's a lot of stuff that I'm working on here that you guys are completely unaware of because it's just the time that it takes working on stuff behind the scenes. So getting to that. What's good, everybody? Welcome to the channel, new subscribers. Yeah, we're coming up quick, and the algorithm has favored us, even though we've favored doing the lives more than the content. It's just how it goes, but we got some solid content, which we'll discuss in a second here. Let me get a drink so I'm not weird about it. All right. You guys ready? Oh, first, before we get into anything, I want to show you guys. I still got the tags on it for some odd reason. I have everything in here as far as the Spectravox goes. Got this bag in. Even the mic fits into it. But yeah, perfectly on its side. All the cables and everything are in here. It even has room for the mic cable to fit in. So, shout out to Ty over at Sweetwater for finding something that's suitable for this. And yeah, I packed it up. I'm gonna pull it back out for sure. It's just moving stuff around. And also, what came in today, for those who don't follow me on Instagram or whatever, patch and tweak. So yeah, we're kind of going down the rabbit hole here, but before we do, must gain some knowledge here. This is as deep as it goes as far as synthesis. So I want to make sure that by the time I get in to Eurorack and modular stuff, physical stuff, down the road, I'm saying, but things may move a lot quicker than anticipated, especially being weirdos here. But yeah, we cleaned Sweetwater out. I got one, my mom got one, and that's it. They're out of stock. So yeah, gonna brush up on the knowledge of Eurorack, and I know some things, but ain't gonna get me in. How's the Moog? Oh God, it's great. And paired with the Mini Freak, that live that I did the other day, that was the first time. That was the first time with it. And yeah, don't get lost in that world, my friend. You know what? I've said this before, and I've had a problem with gear, but it was in the recording space, which is a lot more costly than the production space. That said, getting into modular kind of equals up to those numbers. So I kind of know not to get in to it right away. But I don't really know shit about it, as far as, I mean, I know enough to get started and, get lost in it. But I want to know about it. You know what I mean? I want to really, get it down on technical, paper before getting lost in the sauce, because like I said, it's going to be a while. It's going to be some years, and kind of getting into the stuff like the VCV modular and the Cherry Audio voltage, building up my stuff over there, and let's just get into it. Let's just get into it, shall we? Okay, so biggity bam, here we go. So we went ahead and buckled down, and today, just a mere few hours ago, got the FX collection. $100, you can't. It's hard to say no to it, even though I had all this stuff. But check this out. This is cool. It lets you pick and choose what you install over here. So in my thing over here, I left out all the stuff that I already have decent SSL UAD plugins for. And I kind of went overboard on the other stuff and installed all the other. So a grand total, I installed 24. I installed 24 out of 34. That's not, but that's only a couple that, don't need or whatever. But I mean, the price was right. And you know what? I didn't even pay for it all up front. I did the payment thing. So it's $38. I think the total on 4 payments was $30 after tax. And I was like, what's another $8? I'll just make the payments just to free myself up if anything else goes on sale. So, that's that. We're not sponsored, but we're just we're here to inform, and because this is new, and a lot of the selling point was it was the new stuff, not for needs, just for kind of the playground of it, and it being the price, especially taking it on a payment. It's like and it'd be good for the channel. It'd be, good to show everybody whether or not it's worth it. And that's kind of what we've been doing here with everything. But there's some stuff that we're currently working on that I'm like, hey, maybe it'd be useful for. So that brings me, before we get into the modular stuff, the other great get here is the T-Rex over here. Now, for those who don't know, crap. Hold on. Let me minimize it real quick. I forgot it does that. Oh, okay. Here we go. Sorry. All right. So the T-Rex here. This is why we got the T-Rex. Tyrone Seller. Enabler. I told my mom, I said, yo, we're all enablers in this community. I said it earlier today to somebody else. We went ahead and got the FX collection. And yeah, I hope you don't mind here. Our friend Tyrone hit us with another super secret dono just out of the blue right before we went live the other day, and I was like, hey, and he laughed his ass off about it, and we never spoke again. Salute to you, my friend. Actually, I think we did speak during the live real quick. But yeah, the T-Rex here, before leaving the Apple world, I've been using T-Rex. I've used T-Rex since T-Rex was T-Rex. And what I mean by that is that it was the only thing around for digital mastering when the changes started to be made to the studios, to where the conversion over from tape to CD from when computers started becoming a factor. So you'd still do everything you would analog, but you would just, in the end, you would run it through the T-Racks. And yeah, all in the professional studios, everywhere I worked, it was always, we always had T-Racks. We had the collection. I think the last time that we had for the version was the C5 or the CS version. Not what the CS version is now, but what it used to be. So it was the collective library, but it wasn't nearly as expansive as this. We paid $500 for that back in the day. So when I switched over to Windows and I couldn't bring my software over there, I was just like, I'm not paying for that shit again. I did a cracked version at first, but then I wasn't going to do that for Windows. And then, the future happened. And then, it's not reasonable to crack plugins nowadays, especially for something like this. So I just let it go and, started using other tools for mastering. But $50 for the lot of them. It is normally $300. It goes on sale for about $200. But God, man, this thing's so loaded. A new one here is the Farm Studio, the Farm Stone reverb. These top ones, I think, are all the new ones here. And excuse me. I've already used a couple of these in the middle of the projects over here. And I don't know how many of these I'm going to end up using, but just for the T-Rex, I probably won't use this at all because I have both the Universal Audio and the Cherry Audio. I've already used this on the chorus to the song that I'm working on. I have a bunch of tape stuff, so I'll probably look through these just to see how they are. But I mean, goddamn, just this. And ironically enough, we were waiting out for the Insight 2 to go on sale, and it never goes on sale. And it's finally on sale, $30. But T-Rex has got a version in there, so hell yeah, And it's actually I like it a lot better than the Isotope. The Isotope does a little more, but this one is a little bit more. I don't know, just the UI is just a little better on it. And I actually already used this Mic Room plugin that comes with it. For those who don't know, before Universal Audio came out with the emulation microphones, IK Multimedia came out with the iRig, and the iRigs were it started out exclusively for iPads and iPhones, and there's a little device on it you hook into the auxiliary jack, the 3.5 plug, and then you are able to use that for an adapter to plug in a microphone, and then you use the iRig brand microphone, and they had a dynamic, they had a condenser, stuff like that. And then you change it here. It does the same principles here, mic modeling, and it has a little bit. And I've always wanted to try it out, but I never wanted to go into the hardware conversion thing. And even though I used Apple devices during that time, I thought doing that was kind of stupid. I didn't think that it was going to be worth my effort in just trying it out, because if it didn't work, it would cost me that money and take that time, and I really didn't want to play around with it. But then they offered the plugin up, and it was available, I think, for $50 a piece or something. But who cares, right? But hey, it comes with the whole bundle, and I've already gone through on my last project and went through and checked it out. And there's the model of the 414, and I actually used what was it? I think it was this one right here. The way that you change it from where it was at, even though I was using a dynamic microphone for my vocals, I was able to get it closest to the microphone that sounded closest to it. And I did the conversion to a 414 on a chorus, and it it's not just an EQ model. They did a good job with it. I like it. Another good thing about this stuff, and this is not sponsored, by the way, this is just tools that I'm familiar with and, kind of revisiting. And it feels good to have something as quality as T-Rex back. And the thing is that it's not as unstable as some of their other stuff. And we'll get into that in a second because we did get the other one. I probably won't use these EQs here, the Neve modeling ones. Like I said, Neve's not really my sound. And this is the British whatchamacallit, was it British Channel? Is that the name? That's not the name of the. Maybe it is British Channel. I don't know. I just know it as British whatever. Anyways, yeah, pretty good stuff here. The quad comp is good. The opto compressor, I like using that. The linear phase EQ, this is excellent. And this brick wall limiter, I just use the classic stuff, really. I got some stuff on it already. So let's go to the unstable here because we did buckle under the goddamn pressure we did. Let me tell you. So I didn't want to go in on this because the V collection has most of these modeled synths. And I've heard and seen up close a lot of instability with the IK multimedia instruments, specifically with the Syntronics here. But I thought, what the hell, for $30, 30 or 40. It was $30 for me because I wiped out my plug-in boutique credit and all that other stuff for it. Going down the list of oh, okay, this one doesn't have the visuals on it like their website does, but here it is. Just based, okay, so for one, they have a Synthex, so that right there is worth its weight in the $40. Because I wanted to try it. For those who don't know, there is talks that Behringer is doing a clone of the Elka Synthex. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And if it's reasonable, which I think it's going to be, they're probably going to shoot it for probably about $800. Either way, I want to get one because that's not an easy to grab synthesizer, and it's not cheap either, and it sounds great. And from what Behringer has been doing, I'm interested. And I'm interested in finding any software emulations of Synthex. So Arturia, but UVI had one. The Cherry Audio, Elka X, that's how we met our friend James Dyson over here. And going through some of these, I was like, yeah, I want to check out, like the Pro V and the 80, the CS80 and stuff like that, and the what else, the GSV. I wanted to check all those out, but I spent a few hours, installed it all, went through and did everything. Well, here's the visual aid right here, but that's about it. I wanted to wait for the Arteria, but even that going on sale, I figured, what the hell, you could pick and choose what you want. I did it, and then it ended up installing a lot of them, and I was like, oh, what the hell? It's taking up 200 gigs, 200 gigs of space. So after taking up 200 gigs, I pulled up the thing, this right here, and none of them pulled up. I clicked them all, and they were all empty banks. I looked at where everything was, and it was not functioning. I don't know if it's just because I got a new Mac, with an M3, but the T-Rex works flawless. Every single one of them, as far as I'm aware of. I didn't go through the lot of them, but I went through a handful of them and are currently using them on projects. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Enter at your own risk, I guess. It's $30 for 200 gigs worth of synth. So I'm not gonna say no, but just be wary. Maybe it's just a thing with the new Macs. Maybe it's just a thing. You could see these ease of use and the stars. They're going up. They were down, 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 but there's only been 5 votes. I haven't had any part in that. Which brings us to Cherry Audio. Not only are they having their sale, which $10 off of everything pretty much. Speaking of modular synth, this is kind of getting back into that discussion. I want to get the Dome collection, but more importantly, these are the ones that we're gonna get, and then that's it. We're gonna be done with our soft synth Euro rack. So, gonna get the Pandemonium. I want to get the Apocalypse. I know this is like foreign language too. You know, they all do very specific things, and they're the last group of stuff that I want to get. I got the Waverly stuff that I want to go through here on the channel, and the last but not least is this Energizer one. So you know, they're not that much. You know, they're okay. You know, not that big of a deal. Anyways, so you guys ready? You guys ready for this? Okay. All right. This has been going around as of lately. I don't know how much time I want to dedicate to this, but I commented on this twice today because 2 people put up videos kind of later this week. I'm sure everybody knows by now within this space about Roger Linn trying the modern MPC and not putting to rest the conversation, but kind of reviving it in a positive way. Although he didn't mention any of it himself directly, he did mention about how he likes the workflow and the sound of the speaker. But that's another story. It's not, I don't bring this up to get into the weeds of things. But as far as the general consensus, I mentioned on Trader to the Living's channel when he was talking about it, because he put something up, I think today or yesterday about it. Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second here, for sure. Yeah, it seems like there's something in the works. At the very least, Roger Linn has patched it up with the Kai or vice versa. I don't know who reached out to whom, but he kind of inferred that they reached out to him. Either way, it happened, and here we are, still in the 50th anniversary year of hip hop, and Roger Linn on Father's Day last Sunday gave us this little nugget to have the zeitgeist go wild. Holy shit. That was a weird how that came out. I was running out of breath laugh. Fuck y'all. So, as Carbon Vibes has mentioned in the chat here, EA Ski, our friend here on the channel, he and in life in this music world for sure, he's going to be doing an interview with Roger Linn tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be I think it's going to be an interview, right? Like, because he has an interview that he did with Roger Linn that he hasn't put out yet. But I think this is post this video. I think to my understanding, from what I remember, he said that he agreed to interview him. And then he sent emails out to subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, to EA Ski, you got to go to his channel, go to his website, and then you'll be getting the information as far as that goes. And then I'll just leave it there. But I think it is 1:30 West Coast time. Don't quote me on that. Go subscribe and figure out for your goddamn self. I'm just saying Roger Lynn's going to be up tomorrow for us all. So that's kind of the reason why I bring this up. Not only that, because still, 50th anniversary of hip hop. What a moment. Holy shit. Can we just. Damn. So, and I did hear that there's some kind of contention with the trolls coming out and being like, somebody said something about a shell. Man, you better get the fuck on with that. Like, seriously. I mean, all this time, it's been all this time, and he hasn't tried it directly. And you could tell, you could kind of tell, it kind of seems like he's always wanted to, and kind of maybe out of spite, maybe out of being busy, working on his own stuff. I mean, you're talking a man who's currently has a current, look at what's next to him right there, the instrument. So, as our imaginations run wild, it's got all of us considering, hey, maybe they're going to add some Sonics and some MPE into the. You know how we do with the speculation. I'm all for it. It's great for the community, the hip hop community, the producer community here on YouTube, and just people in general. It's just a great look all around. Yeah. Father's Day. Yeah, that was G. Yeah, and it was such a solid moment, and I even commented on his page like, this is great. This is great for people to see. I don't care who takes what any kind of way, with anything, let those people take it how they're going to take it, because they're going to take it how they're going to take it no matter what. And they're going to take it that way about everything. So let them, fuck them. This is great. It's the good shit here, and, man, segue. Speaking of 50th anniversary of hip hop, I'm just gonna hold on. Let me make sure you guys are hearing it first. Let me make sure.
Hey, no, let me just say it, because you guys created a lane for hip hop that is y'all lane. What is it? The
Juggalos, the Juggalos.
Juggalo. I'm a Juggalo. I don't got a tattoo. I don't got a painting. I'm a Juggalo.
What? You don't need that shit.
This right here. I might lose some of you guys over this. Yeah, Akai getting free promo again. Yo, for those that didn't see, the Insane Clown Posse were on Drink Champs yesterday. Well, it aired yesterday. And for those familiar with the channel, you guys know already. For those not familiar with the channel, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a few stories here. I'm working on not just a reaction to this, but it's kind of, the perfect time to talk about this. It works right in because I said it I said it. I said it on my hip hop is dying video. I got four that I've been working on here, and it takes a lot to put in. Like I said, it was 2 weeks straight of grinding out that edit, and the algorithm kicks it back because of copyright stuff. So I get screwed completely out of that. So it's kind of like a for the love of it. It doesn't really get around much because of that. So I got to tiptoe and navigate, and because of doing all this other stuff, just haven't had time. The irony in all of this, and there is no irony in today's universe. Let me go big screen on you guys. You guys get the music and everything. I have to do some of this for the content, and I have to dig into some of my stuff. But I still have the ticket stub from when I violated my juvenile intensive probation to go to an ICP concert. And that night, talked to Violent J for 2 hours waiting for my ride after the show. And it was a pretty interesting moment, and it was a pretty deep conversation. You're talking 1997, 98, a long time ago. For some reason, I was able to still hold on to that ticket stub all this time ago. So, fast forward to the time around when I was performing and doing everything running as an artist. It was the same crowd. My first and second shop, they all sold Psychopathic Records merchandise and Strange Music merchandise. I've opened up for Tech Nine more than any other artist that I've opened for, and ICP a couple of times. And one of the last things that I did, and I just happen to have this here because the frame broke, and I need to reframe it and kind of fix it up a little bit. It's kind of tore back. I showed this off before, but this is kind of relevant to now, and the story now and how it fits in to hip-hop, because it's still the 50th anniversary. And on the 50th anniversary, just like what I said would happen before this is over, bet you anything, people would recognize ICP's contribution to hip-hop. And there's a whole history that goes with it from that time that I was that age, violating my probation and ditching my house arrest to go to a concert and talk to this fool. Later on down the road, I ended up performing on a regular basis, and one night we opened up for Esham, and the very next day we flew to Colorado and opened up for this event called Hatchet Attacks. And it was this little pre-event. It was about 2,500 people. And I'm going to explain all this in my content. But the story of it was I met Violent J downstairs because he was thanking us for coming out. And I reminded him of that moment that we spent that time, because I had known at that time, not the time that I spoke to him, but at the time that I was speaking to him in that moment, that he remembered if I just brought it up. So I brought it up, and I was like, yo, you remember that time you were in Phoenix and you stood outside after a show and hung out with two dudes waiting for the ride and talked to him for a couple hours? Oh yeah, it's that one of those dudes was me. Oh yeah, and he just had his dreads and shit, you know what I mean? And that was 2009, I think it was. So all those years later, whoa, Carbon Vibes. Welcome to Level 2 Tussinn. All right. Another member in the house. We'll get to that too. Appreciate you, my friend. Now you got badge. And you could hit him with the Tom face. So, yeah, back to what I was saying. One of the last things that I did as an artist performing was I performed on second stage at the gathering of the Juggalos. It was the 11th annual. I'm going to show this. I've showed it before. Oh, Spice One fell off. Spice One somewhere. Here you go. Hold on. See, I have this all out of frame. Oh, here you go. Bam. There I go right there. So, you can see, and this is what I mean by the contribution to hip-hop here. Look at some of these people here. That was the year that Method Man got hit in the face with a full beer can. I was backstage when that happened in the main stage in the golf cart, because we had we traveled. We were deep. We had a RV. You know, we were deep. But yeah, they kicked that dude's ass. And this dude right here, Liquid Assassin, he performed right after me on second stage over here. Tech Nine had a better showing out than ICP there at his performance, and it was right before he blew up, right before he really blew up. 2010, summer 2010. And he said this, and I was right on the back of our golf cart, you know what I mean? Towards like the front and the side or whatever. And it was so packed. And he said, yo, you know, the mainstream, we're gonna make him come to us. We're not going mainstream. Mainstream's coming to us. And it was so profound because at that moment, I had spent several years opening up. We even opened up for Tech Nine at South by Southwest. And it was crazy. It was crazy. And that was before coming back to Arizona and opening up for him twice for the Fire and Ice tour with Tech Nine and Paul Wall, one for Tucson and one for Phoenix, or technically Tempe. And it was April 18th and the 20th. So, and it was I think it was the 18th. I don't know if it was 18th and 20th or 19th and 20th. I don't know. I'll have to look at the flyer. But yeah, I have all these stories about my connection directly with these guys, and it's kind of my space, the space that I was in when I was performing. When Tex said that, he was saying it to a crowd of about, I think the count was like 20,000 almost. It was a lot that year. It was a really big gathering. Yeah, God, what an event. I have a video that I'm working on, but I need to get the video for video camera so I could transfer those old tapes. But I have several tapes from my experience at the gathering and others of performance and everything like that. Synthetic. What is good, my friend? So, I have these stories to share, and the crazy part is that coming back to Phoenix after the gathering, opening up for Tech Nine again, I was talking to him backstage, and I was like, yo, that shit that you said at the gathering literally gave me goosebumps. you know, and he was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Yeah, man, we were there." And by then, you know, I mean, it's already been all these times and all these years of opening up. You know, one of the best times in my career was the first time that we opened up for Tech right before he blew up because we had a hand in that, especially in the Arizona market. And yeah, he sat on the side of the stage and watched our entire performance and then shook our hand. It was like, yo, it was a dope performance. You know, he stood by and waited just to give us our props after that. And we were like, yo, that meant a lot, you know. And then, yeah, off to the races. Shit was dope after that. Watch your mouth. My birthday is on April 18th, and my best friend's birthday is on the 20th. Burning air. I don't have any sound effects over here. I got over here, but no air horn, air horn, air horn. That's dope. Yeah, we did the same thing a couple years in a row. We did one in Tucson and one in Phoenix. We did back to back on April 19th, 20th. That's why I'm getting my dates confused because I think we did that 3 years in a row just with different artists. What was the other one we did? Anyways, so yeah, the clowns of hip hop have kind of unofficially been accepted, and a lot of it has to do with employing hip hop. If you look over here, like you were seeing before, look at all these artists here, you know, big name artists too. Oh man, King Gordy's album during that time, dude, Coolio, yo, Coolio was acting a fool. Yo, we opened for ICP in the Happy Days tour. It was ICP, Necro, and who the hell else? Cottonmouth Kings, and I think it was like Kitty or something like that, and they dropped off the tour. And Coolio. And Coolio had his misspelled Juggalo tattoo, and he was backstage with the horns up, and he said, you know, he was backstage, and like, and this is the first time seeing the guy, you know, and it's all these years later, you know, after Gangster's Paradise and all that, you know, and he was down, and, you know, Juggalos were down with Coolio. But it was funny that after that, you know, seeing him at the gathering, man, he was really in his zone then, and we did a bit of business with Prozac before, and he was on that same stage. That was actually the second stage that we performed on, and that was just a different time. That was the same year that Tequila got ran off a stage and had a bunch of shit thrown at her. It was an infamous story within the gathering and on the outside. If you guys remember who the hell that was. But yeah, you know, I just wanted to point this out here because it kind of goes within the whole thing of the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and even though the other video that I'm working on and all the stuff, like, this fits in exactly to what I was saying, that at the end of that 4-part series that I'm working on, they'll get their props. They're getting their props. And I think a lot of it has to do with this is they're going to be doing their farewell tour after just killing it in the independent game. And, you know, it's just like Nori said over here, you know, going through it, you know, the independence in the game, the strange musics, you know, all this stuff, they got their boost from Psychopathic Records, you know, and I'm going to be going into full detail on not only my history, not only as a fan when I was younger, because I was just some kid going to the concerts doing you know, hip hop music, you know what I mean? That was when I was still like in the battle rap era, you know what I mean? Because it was like around that time, you know, it was kind of like at the tail end of, like, I stopped battling at an official capacity. I still battled during that time, but I didn't do battle rap like I was doing before, going to events and everything like that. It was something different, but you know, my first shop was primarily psychopathic, and there was a lot going on with it. And we got some stories. The thing about it, the history of it. If you just look at it, and I'll let me just do this instead. I was gonna pull this up, but I had the Tussinn over here instead. This is the website over here that is linked in the chat. There's a spot for Virus Music, and Virus Music is the record label that was launched the same year that we that established the shop. So I established my record label and built this shop at the same time. Possibilities are endless distribution. I got in business with an old friend. This was his name, not mine, but this is the stuff that we sold here. We sold the hustlin' t-shirts, psychopathic merchandise, strange music merchandise, and jerseys like hand over fists. This was that Tech Nine show that I was talking about, the first one. You see right here, I didn't even have my tattoo during that time, because that picture's from '07, from this when he and I first started working together and everything. So let's see. There's a thing that has all the things. There's the axe over here, the second shop over here with, packed. This is the Esham, this is the Boondocks in-store. This was a psychopathic artist too, and he came and did an in-store here, and we had it full of people. That was before the event. There goes me. Look, you want to see me without a beard? There I go right here. I got a little scruff going on. You could see going over, but yeah. The axe over here. There it was. Graffiti up in there. Dope spot. There goes the Esham. There goes Esham. We did an Esham in-store with him. Before. This was the bathroom. This was our bathroom in here. And a week before the Esham in-store, we hosted a Digital Underground after party. Shock G, rest in peace over here. DJ Babel over here. The crew. I have gone through the story a couple times during the live. There I go. My ex and battling it out over here on some shit. It was interesting. And that was just the start of it. And let me go through, because I got some of the performance flyers and stuff like that. Some of the stuff that we've done later on. Yeah, South by Southwest here. Here it goes. South by Southwest, Tech Nine, Prozac. There's Hustlemania, Bone, Twisted. They were on Psychopathic. The ICP show over here. When they came back, this was their comeback tour. After being away all those years. They came back. Mike Clark started producing for them. Opened up for Wu-Tang. ABK was another psychopathic artist. Blaze was another artist, February 17th and 18th. Andre Nicotina, see, it just goes. I don't know why it goes so fast on here, but it does. And Esham, this I think May 15th, this was the show. This was the show that we flew out the next day to go to Hatchet Attacks and do that other thing. But yeah, there it is. April 18th and April 20th. There it is. Just Tyrone, there it is. Right on your birthday. We were in Tucson. Hanging out with Destructo. Shout out to the homie. But yeah. I think that was the cell block where he was at that Esham show. But yeah, so this was a moment. Why are so many people psychopathic? Can't we all just get along? I believe it was. Destructo! DL, what is good? Yeah, so this is not only a moment in hip hop to be considered. It is not only the clowns being considered in hip hop. This is my relationship here, not to sound like a narcissist and insert myself in here, but let me just go ahead and tell you this story, because this was my life for a long time, and I have a huge Juggalo following to the point to where I went to the 2006 gathering of the Juggalos too. I didn't perform there, but we gave out that compilation upon the launch of Virus Music, the record label. We opened the shop and we collaborated with 10 local artists from Arizona, and we came out with this compilation called Arizona's Under the Underground. It was Arizona's Under the Underground compilation. And we gave 1,000 copies out to the artists, so 10 artists, 100 copies apiece to do what they saw fit with them. We didn't charge them to get on. This was just a promotional thing. So they put their best song on it or did a song exclusive for the CD. And then we brought 4,000 of those to the Gathering of the Juggalos in 2006. Now, that Gathering of the Juggalos in 2006 ended up being something else. And that was the gathering that we got rained out. We woke up and we were under the water. And we ended up bringing our full supplies because we were stuck in the mud. We had to wait to get pulled out by the tractor. And we gave out all of our 4 days worth of food to everybody in line because we knew we were going to hop, skip, and get a hotel. I saw Too Short. He was pissed. He didn't like that one. And for those who don't know, Too Short, I will leave a link in the description for this Drink Champs. They mentioned it on there. Too Short is the reason why Insane Clown Posse got their deal with Jive Records. So there's a connection between Detroit and Oakland, and there's also a real deep connection between Detroit and Phoenix, the same way as a lot of these Midwest states. Even my family is from Minnesota, even though I was born and raised in Phoenix. And Detroit everywhere, and it's just such an interesting story to tell. And I haven't been waiting to insert it into the channel. I've been keeping my artistry separate from the production thing, the viral beats, separate from the virus music, separate from the virus. Check out my new hat. Yeah, man, I'm ready to go. I just need to get my tattoo redone. Not redone. I just need to get it. I just need to get it recolored. It's been a minute, since I've been out there, going out there. I told you guys I'm getting ready. We're getting ready here, and a part of it, is going through all this. And, it's one hell of a story. And the crazy part to me is that not only did I personally have the foresight to the merchandising behind Psychopathic and Strange Music to not only open one shop in 2006, but after that shop, open a totally different, bigger, and better shop in 2010. And I got a long story to go with those that I won't share now, but this is how it kind of ended, as far as my performing goes. But during that time and the relationship that I've had, and the stories that I have, kind of like the one of me, meeting Violent J at an event that we were opening up for 2,500 people, and we killed it, because even that, we had a bunch of fans that drove there from Phoenix that we were like, yo, what are you doing here? Yo, we rode up in a van. There's another group over here. There was a group from Tucson that met us there, and we're like, oh shit, we just opened up for Isham yesterday in Phoenix, and we just flew right here. But it was dope. I got video of the whole thing, you know what I mean? And I think it's time for this channel to to merge these things together. There was no way. It was inevitable anyway. But the convergence of me as an artist, my history as not only an artist but a business owner, a label owner, as somebody who has opened up multiple times and even done my own headlining on my record release and stuff that we've done with this. I have a long history to go through with this, and it's a perfect time to start all this because I got a surprise for you guys. Some of you guys may or may not remember, but do you guys remember that Esham track? I did this Esham track during that time, and I wasn't able to put it out there because I had the falling out with the guy over at Pyramix, and he lost the session folder. So, I've been trying to kind of rebuild the beat and to kind of modernize it because it's an unreleased Esham verse talking about immigration, and it's such a topic that strikes nerves, and this delivery was so good. So when Logic Pro did the stem separation, I was like, ooh, that may be interesting. Maybe they could do what these others can't. But then, something interesting happened. I won't get into the details yet, but I'll get into some of the details. There is another software that does stem separation, and I'll let you guys make the inferences. And they reached out to me just recently, and they said, hey, we are huge fans of your channel. Well, I always take this shit with a grain of salt. And I wasn't going to do it really because of doing all this activity here with the Hip Hop Undead album, prioritizing the music over everything and all the stuff that's going on. But then our friend Destructo twisted my arm and he's like, you know what? You should probably go ahead and do that. Not to put you on blast over here, big homie. But I was like, you know what? You're right. And I immediately enabled him in return with the T-Rex and the Arturia. And then my mom enabled me, and then I enabled somebody else too, and then Tyrone Sellers enabled me again. We're just a bunch of fucking enablers. So, okay, cool, yeah. Take care, Synthetic. My bad. I don't mean to. I'm not ignoring you here on the comments here. I don't mean to. Says okay. All right. Okay. Oh, kill dope. Yeah. All right. Yeah, man. Take care. Yeah. So all this stuff, it not only, it's the universe's timing is what it is. You know what I mean? When I say ironically, it's kind of not the right way. James Dyson. We already talked about you. You're an enabler too. God damn it. You know what? Speaking of enablers, I left him out of here. Yo, James James has been live streaming with these Arturia effects the past few days and applying them to his synth. Has been using these new ones in his playground over here. And if it weren't for him going live and going over here, old Army Twisty wouldn't have happened over here. So, yeah, you're a fucking enabler too, my friend. I don't mean to cuss, but it's funny. I would say something else, but we in America can't say that. I get canceled over here for saying that shit. But you know what? If I had an accent, man, I'd get away with it. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, you know, the sale for the Arturia FX collection ends on the 7th, so there's plenty of time. There was no hurry to get it. It was just for the channel and the fact that we're working on this. Hey, you know what? And it's like I said, there are no accidents in this world. You know, the universe is what it is. You know, ironically, doesn't exist is what I was about to say, getting into this whole shit. But yeah, it's your fault. No, wait, it's my fault. No, wait, it was Tyrone. Man. But hey, I got him. But he got me. That's why I love this shit, man. I can't stop doing this YouTube shit, and that's why I wanted to do this instead of my normal. I mean, yeah, I love doing everything that I've been doing, explorations and everything. I don't mean to sit here and be a narcissist about this, talking about my shit, but like, I have a whole story to contribute to this, and it's not just the clowns being offered up to hip hop as legends in the game now, which is crazy. You would never hear in the 90s insane clown posse hip hop legends. It's crazy, but if you dig into the history and you know what you're talking about, you would say the same goddamn thing. And anybody can unsubscribe to me all they want. I have a fucked up Hatchet Man tattoo on my arm, so I'll get in the gang profile too. But do your history, for real. Adrenaline. Another enabler. That's why I love this, you know what I mean? That's why I love this. This is what it's all about, talking to your subscribers. Makes them feel really great. Yo, you know what feels really great? Getting an unprovoked, out of nowhere message that somebody supports you and does so for the sake of your family and says, you know what, tell Lil Tussinn I said happy birthday. That means everything, not only to him, but especially to me as a teary-eyed father, you know, of such little Tussinn, of said little Tussinn over here. And yeah, factory found it. Oh, yeah, cool. Right on. Good timing, too. Geez, nice. Appreciate it. Nice. Yeah, that'd be interesting to dig into. I actually have it right over there. All right, hold on. Fuckers are making me weep. No, but I love this shit, you know. This is why I got on this space, because a lot of my friends, even the people that I haven't worked with, you know, people that I know and people that I don't know, you know, it's a mixed bag. I get it. It's rough, you know. I thought that, appreciate you, man. I thought that that people would want to see the process, fuck ups and all, unmastered and everything, just the raw routine. Boy, was I wrong about that at the start. But again, the whole thing of separating my artistry from the production side of things, it's not that I shouldn't have been doing that. And it's not that I'm like bringing you guys in and now it's time to get messy. You know what I mean? It's nothing like that. Yeah, Lil Tussinn, you're right around the corner here. Coming up quicker than I thought. Got some UK Hugs birthday. He's less than a month down the road, but still, like, we've been talking about this birthday for a minute, you know. He's not even 8 years old. But finally, we're the last ones in the country to finish school, so summer break officially started this week, right when the heat started, and he's staying up late, and he's just like, man, kind of not really bored, but I just told him at random, was like, you know, it's summer break. You don't have any obligation to go to bed early. You could pretty much stay up as late as you can. So, and he was like, I don't know what to do with this information I just received. And since then, he's been staying up till like 10, 11 o'clock when he's usually going to bed at 8, 9. So he's like, I'm trying to make it till midnight. I'm like, do what you do, kid. He's been spending a lot more time outside, getting freedom, getting big. Yeah, man. Lil Tussinn's album. You guys wait, when this Hip Hop Undead album's done, it's gonna be Lil Tussinn. You know, He's already got placements. He's already on Genetic Mutation and did his own little song. He's already Tell It to the Mountain, which I'm gonna do the visual over here. So my kid's been out a month. Yeah, yeah. Same with down in Arizona. Phoenix. Not only did we get a late start, but we got a double late start because I think there was a strike at the beginning of the season that kind of fucked things off. But whatever. They were kind of being nitpicky this time. And they're kind of eating it now. Because it's like, yeah, now they're making budget cuts. I swear, I support the teachers. Don't get me wrong, I support the teachers, but I also come from an urban environment, and I know what it's like to have a school district that doesn't have money, and to have a school district, to live in the school district where the teachers get paid the most, like not some of the most wages, the highest wages in the entire country. And then they ask for more right after getting a huge pay bump. And I know cost of living, especially up at here, Pacific Northwest, we're also in the second most or third most expensive place in the U.S. too, next to California or New York or whatever. But still, I didn't support them on this one. I supported them in theory, but them going on strike over it was kind of a dick move. And anyway, so the school year was later, and the school year is already later here in the Pacific Northwest because this town gets up at 9, not 7 like the rest of the world. Not, the early birds and everything. Anyways, I digress. Let's get back into it here. So... it's not only my story here. Roger Linn, 50th anniversary. Insane Clown Posse, 50th anniversary. My history and everything, and opening up for Tech Nine. Strange Music is still, on top of the game, independent, but, now the most major independent you could be and functioning as a major label in Strangeland. And that's another thing that goes with my thing that I was saying here. And one of the things, let me go back to main view real quick. The Strange Music, their role in hip hop. And you guys could, some people could differentiate between the subgenres at all, but hip hop made all the subgenres. So without hip hop, there wouldn't be any house that could house hip hop. And most of these guys that are doing other subgenres are taken hip hop and to the next level. Whether it be with the merchandising or the touring. One thing about the show and with Tech Nine, even back then, Tech Nine hasn't been on the Forbes list for no reason. You know what I mean? Even back then, he was pulling, Strange Music was pulling 40 to 60 city tours. You know what I mean? So going from a fan watching Tech Nine do 400 people to selling out his first show and opening up for him at that first sold out show, it's a wonderful feeling and it's a great story to tell. And it's not about me, but it's about hip hop and people, have this conversation that hip hop is dying, or that hip hop has these problems because the new music and the stuff that they hear sounds the same, or the production value is slipping, or the quality of artistry has been suffering. I just another rapper in Florida I just read got shot today, is dead, and that's just how it goes. I should probably take that out of just saying that would probably get me canceled. But that's the thing of it. There's a lot of hip hop that's not called by the industry hip hop, and they just refer to it as rap music. But there are certain comebacks in hip hop that have been great, and a lot of it is due to Psychopathic and Strange Music. the Gathering of the Juggalos is still going on, and every year they employ a bunch of people in hip hop. This one here is, Tone Loc was there, Rob Bass, you know what I mean? Like these names in hip hop that are significant that weren't getting work then, they weren't, and they started to again, because the ever so expansive library of the Juggalo fan base, and it got to a point to where their own groups were selling out more than they were, and that's one of the things. Twisted was a group that was created by Insane Clown Posse, and they started getting more notoriety as artists than ICP for a time, but Strange Music. And I told Chris Calico this in person. And it's another story, God, like I had a night, I spent the night in the hospital, and they were going to keep me overnight, and definitely just for, I don't know, to observe me and everything like that. And the next day I opened up for Chris Calico, and, hung out with them. He came all the way down to the studio, drove 45 minutes down to Pyramix and hung out for 4 hours, And I told him because it was right after they signed Brother Lynch Hung. And for those know, I got the record around here somewhere, Season of the Sickness, grew up on Brother Lynch, And I told Chris Calico, I was like, man, that was one of the, I'm so glad you guys, signed Lynch, because hearing him on a Tech Nine song in 2006, I was like, oh damn, he's back. But he's had a struggle in his career, post 90s especially, with Black Market. And he was like, yeah, I told Travis, in Tech that it was one of the smartest things that they ever did, And then I got to talk to Lynch when he came out, and I opened up at the show. It was Strictly Strange, and Lynch opened up. It was the first time he was coming out and performing, for the first time. And and he did 3 albums with Strange Music, and that album, Dinner and a Movie, that he did off of Strange Music, killed it. It was really good. The production value, Seven was on it, and who else did the production on it? But it was really good. There were really good songs on it. Yeah, you guys could fuss over the content all you want, but he came back and killed it. And so much so to where he performed even that year at the Gathering of the Juggalos, and, and X-Rated, from 24th Street Garden Block. He just got out of prison recently after all those years. For those who don't know X-Rated, do your homework. He, another Sacktown rapper. He got locked up, and they used to record his voice over the phone and put a beat behind it, and release it. He did a whole album, from the jailhouse phone, and it was dope, and he's been locked up. Strange Music signed him too, and X-Rated just came up and doing all this, under Strange Music. So and the kinship with Psychopathic and Strange Music, and the way that I've related to these guys, and on a personal level, hung out with Violent J at the Gathering, I didn't talk to him that much because we were just enjoying Vanilla Ice's set, which was weird for me because I did a little, it wasn't really a sneak diss, it was kind of a diss, it was a jab at Vanilla Ice in my album. And when I performed on Second Stage, I used that song. So I was like, because I'm not a fan, but Juggalos love Vanilla Ice, and a lot of people love Vanilla Ice now. I still don't like him. I don't like his attitude about founding Death Row and all that other stuff, because you guys know the story about it. Suge Knight allegedly extorted out of rights to Ice Ice Baby to get the funding, to get a couple percentage royalties to get the funding for Death Row, and that's how it all started. May or may not be true, but it's definitely true that money is what is what helped the start of all of it. And I just don't like the arrogance of, like, because he did this verse, and I think it was on the Surreal Life of VH1. He was like, I made rap. I paved the way for Eminem. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. And that shit irritated me because Vanilla Ice did not pave the way for Eminem, even though technically he was talking about without Dre, there wouldn't be no Aftermath. Without no Dre Aftermath, there would be no M. Technically, that's true because he was getting ready to hang it up, and even though his Slim Shady EP was getting all over the place and somebody would have snatched it up, he wouldn't be who he is without Dre, and Dre wouldn't be what he was without, Death Row. And, that's, yeah, you could say that, But for him to say that in that way, he made it seem like he opened these doors for Eminem, but, the arrogance of not understanding the position that he played as the door closer. He was the reasons why I had so many problems as an MC coming up in the 90s in battle rap. I got punched in the face over my bars being better. I'd get my hat flipped off my head. There'd be constant violations just over me, being a white boy who raps, and everybody took that angle, the Vanilla Ice angle. It's easy to flip and do all that, with it or whatever, but it just got old and tiresome. But as a student of hip hop and understanding my position, let it go, obviously, but you motherfucker, Vanilla Ice, you don't be saying that shit because you pave the way for Eminem. Yeah, I get what you're saying now. But when I heard it, I took it a totally different way, and all the doors that were closed on, Caucasian MCs, such as myself, it's not something that we ever complain about because, discrimination, whatever, you know what I mean? Old Whitey has had its hand on the scale for a long time when it comes down to it, so, we can't complain about all that shit, but, a lot of that shit was Vanilla Ice's fault, if it weren't for that shit. And speaking of Vanilla Isis, I'm not going to get all into Vanilla Isis and talk about MAGA rap, but fuck those guys too. One thing that I'm working on here is the hip hop, and I'll go through it real quick. The Hip Hop Is Not Dead or Dying video. The examples of this year alone, I'm just going to go down the list real quick. And just on these are just my notes. This is just a list of the videos that I'm pulling up to use in my example for things that have happened just this year. Just this year within hip hop, when everybody says that it's dying. And first of all, you got the events that happen, obviously, on the actual anniversary date. You could say what you want about them, but, they went pretty well for the most part. I got goosebumps and teary-eyed, so mission accomplished. Some of the older guys, did some slipping on their performance, which you already know a lot of the older guys do. But a lot of the older guys still perform, still been going out there, and just because they're not visible to everybody else, still been going out there, and you likely been seeing them every other gathering of the Juggalos, so you got that. You got Melly Mel versus Eminem, and say what you want and what a travesty that was. That was hip-hop, and you got one of the legends going after, oh man, I mean, that's a bad example, but it's an example nevertheless. Vibrant as hell, when something like that happens. You got Killer Mike at the Grammys. Don't tell me Don't tell me that you're too old. Don't tell me. Yeah, that's the most indicative example of hip hop still being alive and well, because it was most true to form of the original like boom bap style, even though he's, more expressive in his hardcore rap and how he identifies the subgenre. Hip hop made that happen. That was this year. That was this moment. Okay, I know the Grammys ain't shit. But at that same Grammys, you got Jay-Z winning his award and talking about, yo, we just want you guys to get it right. We just want you guys to get it right. Yeah, that Killer Mike project was dope. Yeah. By the way, a little side note, ask LP about the doors that were closed on behalf of Vanilla Ice. Shout out to the homie. But yeah, damn, man. I'm just on. That's like the third thing. You got Scarface in his Tiny Desk concert at NPR. What? That shit was dope. He wasn't the only one. Wu-Tang did their Tiny Desk this year too, I think. Didn't they? Wasn't it Wu-Tang that did theirs this year? And I know that Death Row happened last year, but, still, that's a good example. That wasn't even on my list right here. You got EA Ski and the SP1200 Special Edition. Hip-hop. Tell me that isn't the dopest thing for hip-hop, that this man could put together a legendary piece of hardware that isn't cheap and just be able to put it together legit, produce this machine by the people who produced the original machine and get them going with all that circuitry with modernized what kind of like the Isla instruments, you know what I mean? But this is something different because it was the idea of EA Ski and his approach and what he did after the MPC gate number 2, which is also a moment in hip hop. For real. Yeah, man. Yeah. Killing it for sure. So you got all this stuff going on, and just by those examples, I mean, you know how dope of a moment that was? Just from idea to execution in a matter of months and just sold out immediately, all 100 of them. A legendary piece of gear, special edition, just there. And you just did that just casually. Not only that, all the drums that he's been throwing out here, I got these ones filled up with I got all the EA Ski drums on here. I don't got the means for the cassette, and the cassette only has the addition of the SP. There's some SP on there, 1200 drums. But other than that, I mean, that's such a shining example of hip-hop being alive and well. Not only that, what this man is working on behind the scenes that is still to be released within this 50th anniversary. You want to tell me that hip-hop's dead? You guys could say West Coast all you want. That don't matter. That don't matter. We're talking about hip-hop. That includes all subgenres as well. Hip-hop. And the moment in hip-hop, that was a moment in hip-hop, for real. You got... Okay, so here we go on the battles here. You got Eminem versus Benzino again. You got Benzino over here on Drink Champs. They were even talking about that on that one. I mean, that's not a good moment, but it's still a moment in hip-hop, And the thing is, it is a good moment. I want to push back on that not a good look or whatever moment in hip-hop, having these old rusty dusties like Benzino, you want to... I might lose some of you guys over this, especially you guys in the region. But I don't like Benzino. If you guys didn't infer that from my Hip Hop Isn't Dead video, I did a diss track on him, you know, when that whole thing happened with the Source. Never released it or whatever. But, you know, I was thinking about putting it out there now that I'm on my bullshit again. Because, you know, it was a moment too. You know, I'm bringing that shit back. Run it back. So, you know, Benzino is a hater. For real. You know? Yeah, man. Yeah, my Benzino disc is nothing nice, and I actually already did the remaster of it, waiting to pull the trigger to put it back out there. You know, he's not. You know, a ghostwriter wrote that disc against Eminem, and that came out of the closet. The same with those pictures. You know, a lot of it's projection. You know, with this bullshit. You know what I mean? Sneaking in clubs. Speaking of the whole sneaky shit, Kendrick versus Drake. Can we just have a moment of silence for this small chronic break? Yo. ICP was asked Kendrick versus Drake, and they chose Drake. And the reason why they chose Drake, this is why. The reason why they chose Drake. Some of you guys have already seen this. This is why they chose Drake over Kendrick. Not because of the bars, but because of this. You see that? You see what Drake is wearing there? Come on. See, this one I'll mess with Reddit. Come on, just give me a whole thing. No, I don't want to. Just give me it. There you go, right there. You see that? That's a Hatchet Man tattoo. Or not tattoo. That's a Hatchet Man logo. That's Psychopathic Records. This is Ringmaster. This is their second, not their second album, but their second Joker card album, right? He wore this. And the question goes to Reddit. Why the fuck is Drake wearing ICP merch? Why is he doing that? I'll tell you why he's doing that. So they picked Drake over Kendrick because Drake said, yo, I used to listen to that back in the day, rocking this, that, and the other, whatever. He's a fan. He did this on purpose. It wasn't just some shit that he found and was like, yo, I'm going to put this on and just to get the trolls talking. He is a genuine fan of ICP and was made that clear. This is it. I side with Kendrick on the debate, even though I am Drake bias. But I am also Kendrick bias. And let me explain that here. In the main screen. My Kendrick bias is to the West Coast. I may not live in California, but, you know, it was kind of like a second home growing up. You know, it was the state that I frequent most and am most familiar with, most influenced by musically, all of that. You know, I never owned a Drake album. I never got into any of his shit. I didn't like when he had the Start From the Bottom Now We Hear song because I know his history as Degrassi and all that, you know, and I understand, you know, that he's a Jewish kid, you know what I mean? So it's kind of weird, you know, but he's mixed. So, you know, give him that, whatever, you know, okay, whatever, you know. I understand the cut, the cloth he's cut from, but I understand his contribution into hip hop. So regardless on what I may feel one way or another because of my biases, or Bias, however you say it. I think it's just Bias. I am also biased towards him because he showed up at King of the Dot for Disaster versus DNA. And since then has been a very vocal and influential supporter of battle rap and has done a lot to contribute to the culture of battle rap. And because of that, I feel that automatically gets him a pass from me. Tribalism aside, my bias, I guess, would be towards the clowns in my relationship with Detroit if I were to take sides. But I can't get down with some of the shit that has transpired over the years. You know what I'm saying? I've seen the videos, and it's just like Abba says. Check out Abba and Preach's take on it. And it's just like what Abba says. Never at a time in my life am I saying, oh, you know, would it be cool at this age to be hanging around and talking to somebody that age, or catering my music to that demographic, to that age. I just can't do it. I can't get behind it. And that's another good thing that's come out of this. It's got people talking about battling. These are some of the most aggressive bars you've ever heard in battle rap since Hit 'Em Up. It's not like us. Oh shit. That's a whole music video live performance that happened. God damn. He's structuring a whole campaign around this shit, Kendrick is. Holy damn. This shit's great for hip hop. J. Cole fan first, next Drake, then Kendrick. Yeah, and shout out to J. Cole for bowing out. He did the smart thing. You know, people talk all that shit all you want. Just like this cat over here in the background trying to talk that bullshit. Mama and little Tussinn outside. She's like, let me at him. Better not creep under that. So yeah. My biases are tribalism based. My allegiance is to hip hop. So I'll take both sides and none sides at the same time. I'll go where the bars are at, but I don't condone that pedo shit at all. And I would never put myself in a position to bring somebody on stage and be like, oh, well. And when you're battling somebody and somebody's very specific with their attack, maybe shouldn't come back with, oh yeah, well I drive a better car and make more bread. Just a thought. One battle rapper or ex-battle rapper to a non-battle rapper who hangs out in battle culture. Just a thought, my friend. But I don't know any of these cats personally, you know. But that's the thing, though. I don't know many people in Toronto, but I know mad people. I know mad people in California. I know families. I know friends. And yeah, if I really wanted to pledge allegiance to a side, I'd have to go West Coast. Sorry, y'all. J. Cole is choosing life instead of death. That's my take on it. Well said. So here we go. Speaking of MAGA rap and battling, Tom MacDonald and Ben Shapiro, I'm not going to show these assholes. And as exploitive as they are, especially with Ben Shapiro saying that hip-hop isn't real music, rap isn't real music, period. That's a fact. You know, all that other shit. And then he's over here trying to dress up and be cool, just like Tom MacDonald's wannabe ass with his bullshit woke rap nonsense. Mac Lethal. Yo, I'll pull this up. Yo, you guys see this shit? Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick first. Let me pull this up. I'm gonna pull this up first. Hold on. You guys see this shit? Here we go. Here we go.
Let's be clear about one.
I wonder if they won't sneak cancel me over an image, will they? All right, Uckfit. Let's see. Did you guys see this shit? That's Mac Lethal up there with that graphic. Yo, this song. 7.5 minutes.
Let's be clear
You
about
guys hear
one
this
thing.
shit?
You started it, you sneak dissing pussy.
Oh my God.
I thought it was funny too. We already squashed this, dude. What are you doing? Here's a backstory. A couple years ago, Tom MacDonald got his feelings hurt and made a track towards me. Tried to diss me in a rapping war, tried to bait me into going back and forth, but I really didn't have the passion for it, so I made one song and I had to ignore it. I don't want to sound rude, I just think he's mad corny. I didn't want to give it energy. A transphobic, homophobic culture vulture rapping about white supremacy isn't worthy of facing me lyrically, but I'm...
You guys hear this shit? Did you guys hear this shit? Yo. There's some things. There's some things that I won't get involved in as an MC because I understand my privilege. Even though, you know, guest in hip hop and all that, there's a lot of fuckery that I sweep under the rug and just don't address because I understand the optics. And I just don't go in, you know, and the Benzino thing was an exception because that was because he was destroying hip hop with his fucking magazine, and it's forever fuck him with that. You know, and the thing is about that's funny about that shit is that Violent J from ICP had a little thing with Benzino. You know, he said some bullshit over a response of a post that Benzino made on Instagram, you know, and Benzino responded. And, you know, Norway was like, yo, why'd you come at Zeno like that? He's like, you know why I did that? After all those years, millions of records, after all that time, Source never mentioned us, not once. Not on some hate. At least throw us some hate. At least the other publications were throwing us hate, you know, but nothing. Like we didn't even exist. Platinum records. Millions of dollars. Millions of tickets sold. Stadiums, merchandise, everything. Psh. I'm not stadiums, but amphitheaters. If you can't make it to a stadium, you can't make it into an arena. You know, the next step down is an amphitheater. You know what I mean? 3,000 to 5,000, you know? That's a medium large venue, you know? What I used to perform at the Marquee, you know, 1,500 capacity. Usually it was staying between 1,000, 2,000 people venues. That's a medium-sized venue. Then you got small, and then you got extra small, tiny. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. But this shit, yo, especially because Tom MacDonald's a Canadian trying to get all, this race is shit, man. I can't stand this shit. You know, this Tom MacDonald dude and the MAGA rappers and all this bullshit. And as bad as those fuckers are for hip-hop, this shit is great for hip-hop. Mac Lethal destroys this guy. It's more personal, but goddamn.
Getting tired of watching this dude embarrass hip-hop's history. And the other day he dropped a new song and for some reason he was dissing me. Fine, fight contract signed. Normally I wouldn't pay this any mind, but you made a 9-minute song about your personal life. Why the fuck you mention mine? I've been minding my business and buying some property. Why are you dissing me? Why you take shots at me, man? Are you buying prescriptions again? Is it lines that you're sniffing? It's gotta be. Fuck it. Ding ding, let's begin. You got weak skin. We followed each other on IG. We DM'd, we even agreed that we would be friends. Thomas, we already squashed it. Last time I took the high road. This time I'm getting toxic.
There you go. Air horn, air horn, air horn. So Mac Lethal's going against these MAGA rappers, and I'm all for it. I'll make commentary on why I don't like crime in this battle rap world all day. I don't like them guys, especially because they bastardized that Tech 9 track that he did for the Kansas City Chiefs. He did this song called Red Kingdom. Red Kingdom. And, you know, I'd played this before, you know. Why ain't nobody big in hip-hop dissing these MAGA rappers? They must not made it in anyone's radar yet. Yeah, I don't know, you know. I'm about to come out swinging. I got a whole track in Hip-Hop Undead that's going towards MAGA rappers, you know. For real. It was then that he knew he fucked up. Yeah, you know. Fuck all them guys and their bullshit and their wannabe ass politics, you know what I mean? Trying to fucking race bait and all this other crap, you know? I might get copyright, but, you know, I'm already going to get stricken for saying this shit or even putting this up on the screen. They're going to be like, hey, we found some content offensive. They tucked my Tell It to the Mountain because I showed all that Jan 6 footage, and they're just like, oh, it's too much for us. We can't handle it. But this shit is great for hip-hop. You know what I mean? All this battling coming out, you know, even these MAGA rappers, you know what I mean? Bring them out. Bring them out in the woodwork, you know what I mean? I've been seeing this shit, you know, fuck them all, you know? So we went over Super Bowl. So Drink Champs, Super Bowl, yeah, Super Bowl. No, last year it was good. This year it was hip-hop, still. Alicia Keys and who else was on it? I don't know. Goddamn. Andre 3000? Yo, let me tell you how Andre 3000's album was good for hip-hop. Even though it wasn't hip-hop. Tell me how good it was that you got people talking about making music like that, to sticking to themselves and what they want to do, to doing something independent from the grain and actually digging inside and learning something in an expansive way and putting it out there, regardless on what the market says you should be doing with it. It got people talking. DJ Vlad may be like, I want to hear bars. I get it. A lot of people want to hear it too. Rappaport said it too. You know, I for one, I have all respect. I respect you for right. This wasn't on purpose. I respect you for that. You're the only one who's torching on this BS. And you know what? Touching on this BS. Yeah, so that's the thing about it that's weird. Like, you know, have you heard Racism by ACAL saying the N-word like it's going out of style? Yellow Wolf said he want to slap some of those. Yeah, I haven't heard it, but I've heard rappers get in their box, you know. DZK was a good rapper, and I stopped listening to him once I heard him say some racist shit, and he was just high off speed or whatever. But I was like, damn, man, why'd you gotta go there with it? You know, Joker too, you know, eventually comes out. Like, I don't get why, you know, it's just kind of like, you know, they get a certain way or certain notoriety, and they think that, oh, I could do this, I'm accepted in this culture or whatever. It's like what's his name? Mac Lethal was saying, like, I hate what you're doing to the history of hip hop. Like, straight out, like, calling it what it is. You know, fuckers are bastardizing it and trying to turn it into their political prop. When, yes, hip hop has been used as a political prop. But on the hip hop side, it's heavily political. So for them to take it from the establishment side and say, hey, I'm anti-establishment, fuck out of here. You put those two tattoos on your face so you could sell more records because the kids who are selling records have tattoos on their faces. Like, fuck out of here with that shit. That's crazy. It's so crazy. But it's great for hip-hop. All these conversations are great for hip-hop. All these battles are great for hip-hop. Even if the battles aren't so good. Like Melly Mel. Oh my God. What'd he say? Put you to bed with no supper. But still, he apologized after saying no apologies. No apologies. I'm apologizing. I'm sorry going at you. I didn't know my own steroids. I'm sorry. I shouldn't talk bad about a legend like that, you know. But this is the thing about legends like that, you know. Not saying anything bad, but there's a group of old cats like that who disrespect the newer cats like Eminem, who wouldn't give us a lane in the 90s because the gatekeeping was real. And, you know, listen to Tech Nine, Blown Away, you know, and he's talking about, Rakim not wanting to Tech Nine to close the show. Like, who the fuck is this Tech Nine guy? Rakim did the same thing with Disaster versus Cannabis and was like, I don't know who this Disaster guy is, but Cannabis about to wipe the floor with them. We all saw what happened there, right? Insert notepad here. That shit went down in hip-hop history. That shit still goes down in hip-hop history. Fucking notorious and shit. But yeah, Questlove, man. Like, God. Like, look what he's doing. God, De La Soul, and they reached that, they did that Anniversary album. Hip-hop is everywhere. You know, for people to even insinuate that it's dying just because there's been a lack of sales in the first quarter, when it's so deeply ingrained in our lives. Look at the people that are doing it. DJ Jazzy Jeff is on here doing his thing, just, you know, everything that he's ever done. You know what I mean? And he's killing it out here, just... you know, in the YouTube space, you know what I mean? Everybody's doing their own thing. You got multiple podcasts, you know, popping off. Drink Champs is the perfect example of it and all the stuff that means for hip-hop history. Just the people who have been there and done that, getting out and telling their story and being able to tell their story. Because you guys don't realize there's people out here that cannot tell their story. They're contractually obligated and they're not allowed to tell their story because it touches too many hands. You know, but if they were to tell their story, or to even not even tell their story, if they were just to get up and talk, you guys would be blown away just by the conversations. Just like I want to start doing a podcast regularly here and start talking about this shit regularly here while we're on the subject of the future of the channel and stuff like that, because of stories like my history with psychopathic and strange music. You know, it may not be a lot, but a 3-4 year stint, you know, and then, you know, producing and just touching up on my craft and getting better all these years, you know, and just adding to the hats and the amount of work that I've been putting in. I'm finally ready to take everything that I've learned and get out there in a way that I never had before. Because I was able to do it on an independent game. But, like, I'm still going to do it independently because fuck streaming. I ain't going to go through any of that bullshit, you know, as far as streaming goes. You know, done. You know, hip-hop just got a boost with that K-Dot Drake battle. Yeah, for sure. And it was a good look because nobody got killed. You hear that? Yeah, for real. In the midst of all this, the shit's still going on. You know, Kendrick still, he just put out that, just did that video, that surprise performance in Compton. You know what I mean? This shit is still happening. And there's still these younger rappers getting killed. You know, there's something that we, and I say we as in Gen Xers, you know what I mean, that are in the space of hip hop or in this kind of space of content creating, whatever, you know what I mean? It's our responsibility to let everybody know about what some of the perils of making these moves are. Like, what's his name? XXXTentacion. His shit was totally preventable. You know what I mean? You can't just walk up. You can't just share your location and walk up. You know what I mean? And just be like, yo, like there aren't thirsty people out here looking for your shit. You know what I mean? I worry about it every day being in low income housing. You know what I mean? This shit is crazy. You know what I mean? You wanna hear some you wanna see some real shit here. Here. Peep game. Oh no, wait, I can't do it over here because it's not on the thing. Oh, never mind. I was gonna move this over and show you guys. Never mind. I'll show you guys later. Never mind. All that build up in suspense for nothing. Cut it. We'll do it live. I can't even do the shit because I didn't fucking save it. But yeah, nobody got killed out of that. And even with people that are like, I'm gonna come see you over that. You know what I mean? But in the age of Diddy facing consequences and accountability, which I know that we aren't when it comes to politics, but when it comes to some of this shit, there's accountability happening. You know, I don't know Diddy like that. You know, I've heard a few stories and I've seen some stuff or whatever, you know, and I know that relationship he had was toxic and she was doing that same shit. You know what I mean? I heard stories about, but still, like, you hear these stories all the time and ain't none of our goddamn business for the most part. You know what I mean? But when it comes to this other stuff, like the R. Kelly stuff, you know what I mean? The stuff like, I had to take a post down. Some of you guys know this. On the Anniversary of Hip-Hop, I blended the Africa Bambaataa, the Planet Rock with the strange music, Don't Know What He Want None, Tech 9 thing that he did, because those things blend perfectly. And then somebody reminded me in the chat, yo, African Bambaataa should not be celebrated. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot, you know. I know that the music is still there and the contribution still exists, but there comes a point to where, just like John's Studio Talk, you know, Barry, you know, Barry's Studio Talk, you know, once something happens and you get past a certain point, there's no going back. You know, so it's kind of hard to go back knowing what this person has done. And if you ever have watched or listened to any of Immortal Technique or any of the interviews that he's done, you know, being around the neighborhood and stuff like that, like, yeah, you know, that is definitely not somebody to put up there. And there's a lot of stuff about some of these people, and I know a lot of people say shut up and do the music, but that's, you know, that's got racial undertones to it as well. You know what I mean? So as much as most of us just, you know, want to make the sauce, you know, let's see, here we go. Sorry, I got sidetracked over here. Fucking destructive. I noticed that too. I know I'm an old man, goddammit, especially when I got the light on me. You want to see something? Yo. I just cut my hair. See that? Get a good look. I didn't miss any. I don't got no patches. I cut my hair. It's all perfectly shaped. It don't look like it, do it? Fucking destructive. I guess I'll just take a straight razor to mine now. My wife was like, don't ever do that again. I did it one time just to see how crazy it looked. She said, do not ever do that again. Especially when I cut the sides of the back, I look something out of American History X. I'm like, oh, hell no. And I got a big upper frame too. Oh, nah. Hell no. Hell no. All right, what else do I got on here? Battle rap, hip-hop versus everybody. Spotify versus artists. That's totally hip-hop. What the industry is doing to artists. And this whole Spotify thing versus artists. This is all indicative to hip-hop and what's going on with it. You know, so another thing is, you know, with all this production equipment, it's the most popular production equipment, the MPCs, hip-hop, so ingrained in this shit, so second nature, we don't even pay no mind. You want to tell me that hip-hop is dead or dying? Fuck out of here with that conversation. That conversation is stupid. You know the same assholes who are doing those videos just for clicks are the same people who are now putting out videos, hey, this thing saved hip-hop. This is the best thing for hip-hop. Did this just do this to save hip-hop? Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Hip-hop has always had the conversation that is it dying? Is this the year? And all this other bullshit. No. It's become more ingrained, more grown up, more expansive, and more conclusive than ever before. And it's not even, it's barely half of the season. You know what I mean? It's you know, we got a couple months left. Couple months. And it's the season of releasing records is coming out. Eminem's back. You can say what you want. Tell me that ain't good for hip hop. Like back, not just releasing records, you know, while he's going through it. He's releasing records. He's killing Slim Shady, he says. You know what I mean? And everybody else who's coming out with shit. You see the Dog Pound's new shit? You see these interviews? You see these Tiny Desk concerts? You want to tell me that hip-hop's dead or dying just because, what? Some awards? What's bigger than a Grammy? You know? Killer Mike killed it. He earned that name. He killed the Grammys over and over again. And they didn't show it. They didn't air the part that he said all that. That was clipped from people that were watching from other sources. Yeah, they aired, the first one? But that whole, it's a sweep. It's a sweep. Don't tell me that you're too old. Don't tell me that you can't make it. All the stuff that this man has been through. And when did he start? I think the problem is that we as the older generation need to communicate the fact that this is a grown man's game. This is a long game. It's not as finite and temporary as we all were believing that it was. We all thought that there was a shelf life to hip hop, that once you reach a certain age, you're too old to make it. But I gotta tell you, I'm fucking 42. I'm about to turn 43. And I'm making the best music I've ever made in my entire life. I have the most knowledge I've ever known about how to function in this here game, even not being in it as an artist for these last 10 years, 12 years. And I could just come in and not pick up where I left off. But I could pick up because my shit is undeniable now. And you fuckers are going to see it because I got this shit. I'm not going to play it. But I'm going to show you guys because I'm meant to show you guys. Shut up, cat. Just mad because I'm yelling. Yeah. Seems like everybody's back. Yeah, you know, and that's the thing. You get motivated. It's like EA Ski says, steel sharpens steel. You get motivated by other people doing stuff. Excuse me, didn't mean to burp into the microphone here. But goddamn it, shit's raw. You know? What Method Man say on that? Teeth yellow. My whole crew ghetto. Teeth yellow. yeah, it's a bigger game than the suits would like you to believe. You know what I mean? And when I say the suits, I mean the powers that be. Gen X still isn't in charge of these bigger labels. It's still the boomers who are up top. But they're this close to making that transition because life, the only thing that's certain is the end of it. And the generations and time has passed. And we have all this knowledge from the birth of hip-hop, the 80s, the golden era, the 90s, gangster rap, everything that came afterwards, 2000 and beyond, genres and subgenres. We're still fucking here. We all grow up, especially, you know, us on the West Coast who grew up in, you know, gangland territory and shit, you know, with that mindset or whatever, you know, on some real ghetto shit, you know. Most of us that grew up that way, we survived it. You know, a lot of us didn't, you know, a lot of people didn't make it. But a lot of us did. And have a lot of stories to contribute to what happened and what we know about making it through to the other side. I may never have been picked up or anything like that, or discovered, or however the 90s would like it. But, you know, in my day, it'd be like you make a demo, you solicit that demo, you get some studio time, and then, you know, you make it big. You get signed, and then you got all the means to do everything to produce. But also, production was a lot more difficult. You couldn't do it the way that you could do it now. You could do a lot more. And a lot bigger. A lot easier. But all the shortcuts got people thinking, oh, well, I can make it that easy. I'll just make it this easy. No, you still got to put in the work to beef up your sonics to make it compete to what it was then. You know, that's why all these songs that were great from the 90s went back and were remastered. Because like I was saying at the beginning of T-Rax, when it first started, it was like the only thing for digital computing, for digital processing and mastering that wasn't something that was hardware, you know, and that was the beginning of it and things changing, you know. So everybody was like, oh, we got this new mastering. Even Dr. Dre remastered The Chronic. All that stuff was reworked, you know. Trader. What's up, my friend? We went through the Roger Linn thing too. For those who don't know, Trader to the Living did a video about the Roger Linn MPC thing. I did comment, on it, and yeah, how's it going, my friend? So, I'm going to show you guys this. It's up to us and our old asses. Here it is. This is what I've been working on. This is my session. This is everything. I'm not going to play it because I'm only going to play it. I'm going to play it after the premiere. Okay? So after the video is when I'll play it. And I'm going to go through all of it. These are all vocals, by the way. The beat's up here. You know, and the beat was done 3 simple ingredients: UVI Aurora, EA Ski drums, and Reaper. That's it. Those elements. Granted, I used like 7 different things out of the Aurora, but I was able to affect an entire production. And my master chain. Here we are. It's not only the things that you learn, but it's the things that come out and the tools you acquire along the way. This is my master chain for this song. And it makes all the difference here. This oxide here. And I got the meter here on the end. That's what's on the end over here. Like I said, I'm not going to play it. I'm just doing this to point out an example here. I'm working on content that goes through this as an example, but this is going to be like a several tiered thing here. So it's going first, what, Logic Pro? Nothing's better. Wait, hold on. Nothing's better. All right. Here, hold on. Let me zoom in. So, the point that I'm making with all this is that I really have things dialed in now. I went to school for sound engineering when I was touring. Actually, coming back from tour is why I started going to school. Because I came back from tour and I was like, what am I going to do with my life? You know, I don't have a day job. I have to do something for work. I don't really have money like that. Music is done by the example of your work. You put in the work, you produce the album, you release the album, and then you promote and tour the album. And then you receive all the benefits from that tour, and you get enough money to last you until you can do it again. Theoretically. It doesn't always work like that. Sometimes you make more money or less. Shit happens. Drama, trauma, bullshit, stuff. Either way, I'm at the age to where I thought that I was going to be hanging it up, and I mentioned this before about me producing into the sunset and that being it. But, you know, I realized this, you know, that I'm better than ever, and I'm not tooting my own horn. Fucking beat. You know, this is just how shit goes. You learn, you grow, you gain knowledge, you gain experience. You expand on that experience and become better, and things just evolve. And if you're just doing it your whole life, there's nowhere to go but better and better. And I've been intentionally suppressing myself as an artist, not only on this channel, but just because I thought I was going to produce, and that was going to be it. It's just because my back was that bad. My back was in that much bad shape. I just thought that was it for me. You know, not being able to walk or dress myself, you know. You start having this grim outlook on reality and how long it takes to get through something like that. But here I am, you know, tip fucking top, you know, in better shape than I was beforehand. And we even got unstable ground over here. Yeah, I got to stretch out my herniated discs when they happen, you know what I mean? I still get bulging discs from time to time. But, you know, it's not like it was before. I don't have 11 of them all going at the same time. That shit was dramatic. But either way, so it's the growth of the channel, but the growth of the channel has been kind of separate from the growth of myself as an artist. And I've been kind of keeping those things separate intentionally. But it's time. It's not only the universe telling me that it's time, everything's set up and staged the way that it is. You know, I need to get some beats. You know, I have beats and I'm using beats and I'm working on stuff. But I need to get some more going. But we're hitting the ground running with this recording. And starting with this single. That's why we haven't put any content out in the 14 days. Because the next thing in between, that's going to be the music video. And I'm already done with the song. And I'm already done with most of the video. I just got 2-3 pieces just to add in there, and then it's done. But I also have this content that I'm doing about ICP and my reaction and story behind not only the Drink Champs interview and the history of the clowns in hip-hop, but my relationship and the stuff that I've done over the years with psychopathic and strange music, and just kind of getting people to understand me as not only as an artist, but as a producer and who I am as a person. Because it's that time. It's that time. It's that time to go out there. It's that time to do this. So it's just all signs point to this. Thanks, man. I appreciate you for sure. You know, yeah, we're ready to go with this. So after the ICP thing, so it'll be the music video, the ICP thing, and the ICP thing is going to be perfectly segued into using the stem separations to pull this Esham verse from 2010 that's never been released and put a whole production behind it, because that's the very next thing that we're going to be working on. So we're going just within this week here from the music video to the reaction content to the Esham track to all of this stuff here. And obviously we're still getting rid of the Phantom, doing all that, you know. But Lil Tusson's not out to school anymore. We have a totally different week in front of us. As a matter of fact, I could start going live early in the morning because Lil Tusson's staying up so late, you know, him getting up later. By the time he gets up, even if it's 8, 9 o'clock he's getting up, I've already been up for 4 or 5 hours at that point. So, you know, even though I'm kind of gravitating towards more of a day schedule, it's just a grind of everything. And I keep getting these production tools. And, you know, if you look at my thing here, let me see if I could do it on the screen here. See if it pulls up. Oh, no, it doesn't. Here, let me, I'm going to shrink it so you guys can see the whole thing. Mac, here we go. Now you guys can see everything. Watch. I'll show you guys. And we've only had this Mac for a few months here. And we've only been off of subscriptions here for a few months. Look at the bar. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get myself out of here real quick. Go on. Look at the bar. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get the viral beats out of here. There you go. What do we have here? A Rolling Clown Manager, Traction... Traction Manager, IK Multimedia, Soft Tube, Universal Audio, SSL, Cherry Audio, Arturia, Analog Lab, Pigments, the Mini Freak, Decent Sampler, the Imaginado stuff. We got that too. So the visual synthesizer and the other synth over here. This Mini Ray's got this over here down here. Ripex. Oh, that was the secret. Secret found out. There you go. The voltage modular over here, the VCV rack. Got the DMX. I still haven't used this DMX yet. I got to do content on that too. But always here, music over content, you know. So got the T-Racks next to it. Luna, which gone through, but, you know, I like it, but I haven't been able to explore enough to do because it's a different workflow and I just needed to get into everything. And you got Logic, Reaper, FL Studio, and blah, 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 blah. So, there you go with that. Oops. There you go. This one? There you go. And there you go. So this is just, I mean, we're still in the process of like beefing this machine up over here. But while we're in the process of doing this, we're in the process of albums. So it's just like this. Hip Hop and Dead is the priority. Everything that we're doing now on this channel is the priority of the Hip Hop and Dead. The last Phantom Friday album, or the last Phantom Friday episode came out. I just found my old Esham and the Unholy cassette tapes recently. I showed off that one recently. I have it laying around here somewhere. I think it's in storage. I gotta go pull a bunch of stuff out of storage to get that ticket out for this content. So, like I said, everything, even though there's this stuff to go through as far as the tools and the synth and everything, like, it's not like I'm going to be doing patch and tweak over here, you know, bedtime stories. But, you know, stuff like the Spectravox, you know, there's stuff that comes up that just kind of a happy accident, you know, and I'm always looking forward to shutting down and just turning on the synth and playing with them live for the channel or for content, whatever. But there's a very specific thing that we're doing here. Yeah, one of the other moments in my life and career, my past life, was Isham shaking my hand saying, I love the way you do business. And a bit of twist of irony to that is that when I met him, the first time I met Isham was in 2006, the day that I opened my first shop. We opened paid, and then I got the invite from this local crew to go as a guest to go meet Isham, and I bought a bunch of merchandise for the shop off of there. But at that time was the time that there was falling out with Psychopathic Records. It's a long story with that. It's all hip hop. So who's saying that hip hop is dying? You know, because the Spotify ain't Spotifying. You know, look what Curtis King has done. His example of direct to consumer and the money that he's made. You gonna tell me that ain't hip hop? Fuck out of here. Hip hop's not dead or dying. It never has been. It's just been this ever expansive and growing culture that has completely immersed itself and is ingrained in our entire culture worldwide. And as much as hip hop may be slipping in the States as far as people's perception goes, check it out in other countries where it's blowing up. Go to Mexico and tell me hip hop is dying. The Philippines, Japan, Sweden, shit, even France, Russia, even. Hip hop's alive in Russia. So who's saying that hip hop's dying? Well, mostly the uninformed. Mostly the people that don't understand how big it is. And if you want to talk, I guess it's a fair assessment if you want to talk specifically records being released. But that's not even a fair assessment considering the fact that there's a lot of space left in 2024. And there's still a lot of space left, even though it's a couple months in the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. There's a lot that has happened, as I just casually... This is just a casual list of stuff that... Dude, Jay-Z and Alicia Keys at the Tony Awards. Broadway. Alicia Keys is hip-hop. I don't care what none of y'all say. She's hip-hop. Her husband's hip-hop, or ex-husband, whatever. Are they ex? Are they? They're out. They're out. Only saw him live once, opening for Kool Keith in Seattle around 2001. That is fucking dope. You know, I've never seen Kool Keith and them live ever. You know, they've always been way more active than, you know, the circles that I traveled in, and I never saw them around, regardless on how close they were. You know, in the West Coast. It's amazing. But yeah. Kool Keith is another one. Go look up his stuff. Didn't he just do some stuff recently? Yeah, so you got the music video, the ICP reaction, the Isham track that working on, and then the examples, some of which I've given, but the elaborate detail on how exactly hip-hop is not dead, and having the conversation is just a marketing ploy because the suits want to suppress it again. This is all coming from the powers that be as far as the conversations goes. They want to suppress this because their return of investments are dying. They are getting killed on a regular basis because they're young, they're reckless, and they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing as far as sharing their location with piles of money just so they could stunt for IG. And it gets them in trouble. You know, accidentally shooting themselves or, revealing their location to the ops. It's like you can't be moving like that, especially as an artist. If you're an artist and you're selling records like that and you have money like that, you don't have a normal life. You can't drive a normal car down a normal street and show everybody, hey, I'm pulling up on this block over here, Van Nuys. You better, better come and see me. I'm gonna be on this motorsport plate. Nah, you know what I mean? Some of the stuff is personal. A lot of it is. But most of it is not only how these people move, but how these people move is scaring the powers that be because the return on the investment is going away. But it's their own fault for exploiting and promoting this bullshit. If they didn't promote and exploit this bullshit type of, narrative as far as the content of the songs go and shit like that, And they did that shit in our day too. It's not just this generation. Us old rusty dusties like to say, oh, these kids, all they talk about is drug. Man, fuck out of here. That's all we talked about. We talked about worse things. You know what I mean? I was over here 11, 10 years old, talk about bitches ain't shit, but hoes and tricks. Lick all these nuts and suck the dick. You know what I mean? I know that's not really aggressive, but goddamn, I was an impressionable youth. Gangster rap has shaped me as a human being, but the culture that I was a part of and that I lived in the neighborhoods at the time, I saw that shit right in front of me. It was just how people talked. That's why you hear me talk the way that I do. Yes, I talk normal and straight, and it's weird to hear me have this accent that doesn't really go anywhere because it doesn't really define any particular region. I'm sorry, I do hip-hop. I have a fucking accent. You don't like it? Sue me. I cuss a lot. Fuck y'all. You know what I mean? Wait until you hear this song. You guys are going to be like, oh, okay, I understand. You know what I mean? You guys already understand because you guys are here. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? My hook is the song's lyrics in my hook are "Eat shit, you bitch." Unapologetically myself. Oh, here we go. Destructo, my attorneys want a word with you. Hey, you know what? I'm not under any NDA here. I'm here, Scout's honor. If I revealed anything, it's your own fault. Set the meat. Appreciate you, my friend. Fuck, man. If only you guys knew this fucker here. Oh, God. I'm about to get real close. If you guys knew who this man was, I know this man. I shook his hand directly and I don't even know this man. But if you knew his contribution to not only hip hop, but you guys would trip out. You guys would be like, oh shit, I didn't know you were that. I thought you were just some dude who loves this shit. And he is. We are. God damn it. And it's up for us as the older generation to spread the love around. You know what I mean? We don't need to say this. I know I got a blue cap, but I ain't saying no cap. You know what I mean? I just got a blue cap because I'm true blueing it over here, man. That's how I grew up. I like the blue. It goes well. It goes well with my... You know what I did? You see this logo right here? I did that by hand. I used to do graffiti, The greatest trick that Destructo pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Well said, my friend. And what would be a stream talking about hip-hop and the future of the channel, synthesis, all that? It would not be complete without my own patented, shameless self-promotion. Converted Tussinn, it is pinned to the chats. 50% off until the 50th anniversary of hip-hop is over. It is $50, but it is on sale right now for only $25. It is all the best elements of the Roland Phantom, all the EX, the JD800, JX8P, Juno 106, Jupiter 8, the Enzyme, the SH101, all that. Custom patches made. Ton of content sampled. And then all the drums, the piano, and the strings, the best of the best, converted through the MPC 3000 limited edition. Holy shit, if this is not the sound pack of all sound packs. I put a lot into this. That's the reason for the price being what it is. Goes through everything. Link is in the description. And that's the thing about stuff like this, you know? It's not just because I'm shilling for myself and I'm trying to self-promote or do whatever. I put a lot of work into this. It's the tools for, you know, if you got samplers or whatever. But this is what we do. It's my unique sound of the Phantom, the Tussinn, you know, everything completely put together with the best of the best on here. And you could say all you want. I should take that off of there. Shows the last 4 digits. And you could say what you want about shilling over here, you know, but this is how the support is reached. Because when it comes down to it, we all get these sample packs and do this stuff. But if you do the math on the amount of subscribers I have versus these sample packs, I'd be able to earn a comfortable living if I had even a quarter of my subscribers all get one. You know? But it's not just the converted Tussinn. Oh, wait, there's more. We got every instrumental album that we made. Phantom Friday, Night Lights, Monday Meditation, Mr. Tussinn's Wild Ride, and Environments. $5 a piece. They are solid instrumental albums. And yeah. And those just go for what they go for. I still have some copies of Genetic Mutation, which are the physical copies of my last album that was put out in 2020. And still have this Mercury 6 set of presets for the Cherry Audio Mercury 6. In addition to that, tell me this wasn't a moment in hip-hop. You know? Tell me this wasn't a moment in hip-hop. Yo. Tell me this wasn't a moment in hip-hop. I got to experience the MPC, the legendary Akai MPC 3000 limited edition. Roger Linn, Jay Dilla. On the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, on the day, I got to experience that on the day of hip-hop's anniversary. And I was able to get a whole setup here going for the channel to where I didn't need to profit off of getting rid of it. So we were able to hold a raffle here and raffle it off on the channel on some real big moment in the history of hip-hop. It's just like that shit with Shock G and Digital Underground being at the Axe, you know, that never really officially opened. Those moments in hip-hop, they're tucked away. You know, the realest moments in hip-hop are the experiences that the rest of the world doesn't get to see. Sometimes the rest of the world does get to see, and it's just by a smaller group. But I guarantee you that each and every one of these people in this group experience the feeling of the significance of hip hop's 50th anniversary in this moment here, with us getting rid of the MPC 3000 limited edition on this channel by way of a raffle. Tell me that ain't hip hop. Fuck out of here with that conversation, for real. On the front page, we are making a classic here with the Hip Hop Undead album. So I have this tucked away. I haven't been promoting it. I will later on. We do have a donation pile just in case you guys want to get crazy with it. And the reason for me doing this, a donation pile for Hip Hop Undead, is because of even though I have the ability to produce this album, even though I have the means to make this what it needs to be and sound the way that it needs to sound, and it's going to be a classic, you know, I'm not jinxing it by saying, oh, it's classic this or classic that. It's going to be a classic because I'm not going to release it otherwise, you know, and it doesn't have to be released within the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Just it being released and it being a classic is the goal. That's it. That said, I have some people that I know, and I have some ways to get some things even better for this album. And you know, usually when it comes to this business, it's just money. It's just money. You know? Isham, I paid $500 for that verse, but it wasn't because he was selling verses for $500. I was able to get his price down lower because I had also got a bunch of merchandise for the shop and did an in-store with him and then opened up for him at the show. So even though all those events were separate from one another, the reason why I mentioned that is the same reason why I put the donation thing up there for the Hip Hop Undead album. Because if there's more money in the pot to produce this album, I could pay for some pretty serious production. I got some contacts. You know what I mean? But I ain't have no $1,500 for a beat. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. I don't care how much it costs or what it is. I'm just trying to make a classic here. No matter what it takes. I have all the ingredients. I have all the equipment, whatever. I mean, whatever. I can make beats. I could record. I could do whatever. I could do whatever needs to be done when it comes to this whole thing. That's not a factor. But the factor is, am I able to fly in a musician from another place? And you know what I mean? Like, there's things that you could do in this business and make moves as far as producing an album that just takes the logistics of having the money to do it. So the more money into the pot, the bigger the production becomes. That's why I'm doing the donation thing. It's not because I need help. You know, although it is helpful, and although the like and subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Join, become a member. You see, Carbon Vibes over here, level 2 Tussinn. You get access to the Tom face, there's just things here, here and there. And, oh yeah, I got the message over here. Let me see. Let me get in the Tom face over here. Hit him with the Tom face. And as there are more members here that join, you could do more emojis and all that other stuff. Emojis like the stupidest part of it, I don't even care. Any way that you could support this channel, the channel is the music. The content is the music. So even though I'm exploring synthesis and getting in all these tools and doing all this stuff, the goal here is the music, and the first thing on the agenda here Hip Hop Undead. We are hitting the ground running. We have everything that we need to move forward. Now we just need to put together all the pieces. Starting with this single. Hopefully it'll be ready to go out tomorrow. If not, it should be ready to go out the day after. Remember, guys, EA Ski is doing the interview with Roger Linn. So anybody interested in that little bit of hip-hop history, it's going to be dope. And it just keeps going. And this is kind of par for the course, you know? When you go fly, you know what I mean? You just go and you just keep going. You know, we're already flying over here. So we appreciate the subscribers, every bit of donation, but most importantly, the actual support of being here and just participating in any way that you possibly can. And if half of you motherfuckers out there bought my converted Tussinn, I'd have all the money I need for this album. Do the math logistically. At the reduced rate, $25, let's just say half of 1,000. You know? What's 25 times 500? A lot more money to put into this album than I currently have. That's for goddamn sure. Traitor to the living. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, man. For those out there, you guys need to subscribe to Traitor to the Living. He's been around in this sphere for a little bit, you know, in this world. And he's got his own channel, and he's had some valuable contributions and discussions, especially. And did you guys even notice that I have a different tapestry? Yeah, look at Wolverine up there. Shout out to my mom. She sent me this shit today. I was talking to her about tapestries, and they're so hard to get because I'm very particular about tapestries. And finding the other graffiti one was like a diamond in the rough, and I couldn't believe that I found it. And I was like, oh shit. And then we were talking about something regarding Little Tussinn or something like that, and she was like, I sent you a little something. Tell me if you like it. And then it was the other end. If you take this tapestry and compare it to the other tapestry, this is down the hall a little ways farther. Pretty cool. It just doesn't have that weird lady with the head on the top, you know, and it's a little rounded and kind of moved like the thing is. But yeah, somebody said something in that Zoom with EA Ski about somebody complimented the background, and it's like, yo, it's just a tapestry. Them shits are like $10 or something like that. They're real cheap, and you could just throw them up anywhere if you ever have a blank wall or something like that and want something cool, you know. Yeah. I think I can show you guys this. You guys want to see the truth? You guys want to see the truth behind all the lies? There it is. Oh, there it is. You see that? You see that? That's my kitchen. Yo. Shit's real in the field, son. It took me the longest time to figure out it was a tapestry. What is good? I don't know how to pronounce the last of that, so I kind of butchered that. Yeah, it's funny. You could kind of see the wrinkles in this because I just got it, so you could see the line right there. But it kind of doesn't look like... See, you see the wrinkle right here? You could barely see it. because these don't wrinkle up very easy. But I didn't even put it in the dryer or anything like that. I was just like, oh, cool. I'm doing a channel update with the updated tapestry. I'll just throw this shit behind here. My bad. I forgot this was even on. Reminds me of Violent J, 85 bucks an hour. No, it's all. What the fuck was that? Fuck it. Leave it in. The shit's fat. Is made up. Pronounce it as you please. There you go. It's all fucking made up. It made it up, folks. Yo, for real though, shout out to everybody on here. Perfect timing, Carbon Vibes. Yeah, take it easy, my friend. I appreciate you and everything. Yeah. Joining gang. Tussinn. All channel members realize that things have been just kind of not lax, but not as active lately, just because of the simple fact that we've been in this transitional period, and now we're seemingly out of the transitional period and now into the mix, literally, of making this album a fucking hip-hop classic in 2024. Given more reason to shut the fuck up and stop having the goddamn conversation. I think the conversation's healthy to have. You know why? Because when you have the conversation that something is dead, all the people that are alive within it are there to say, fuck you. That's what I think. It's healthy for the culture. So yeah. Appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, join, become a member, and you'll have access to the exclusive Discord and many others. Oh, and you also have 20% discount on our store on viralbeats.com for life, even if you quit your Tussinn membership. So once a Tussinn, always a Tussinn, I like to say. I don't like to say that. I just made that shit up too. See how that works? Even people who said hip-hop is dead changed their minds when Griselda popped out. See? That's what I'm saying. People were thinking this whole time, they're like, this shit's dead. And then all of a sudden, this whole beef comes and they're like, yeah, hip-hop's all good now. Man, that shit been good. That shit been good. As soon as people started having the conversation, that's as quickly as Killer Mike won his Grammys. For real, I was thinking about doing this list and going down. It's like, God damn, man, y'all motherfuckers just ain't paying attention. I saw DJ Craze. You know what I mean? Hip hop ain't dead. He did a whole jungle session, but god damn, he's a hip hopper through and through, for real. Anyways, yeah. Sunday, a gun day, rolling down to one day. So, yeah. I'm trying to think of what else do I need to include on the agenda here. Let me go in the thing real quick and make sure that I didn't miss anything. No way, Bevel's still alive. He went alive again? Okay. For the Master of Stuff, Hip Hop, Drink Champs, Arturia. Got the book, got the T-Rex, got the Mo, got the bag, got the UAD, got the stuff. Yo, take care, Trader of the Living. We're going to take off here, too. I appreciate all you guys being a part of this. I really do. And as passive as I may seem about this content, you guys are going to see that I've really been working here behind the scenes as well. But the next thing and the biggest priority on the agenda is the music video to this song that I've been working on this entire time. And yeah, it's actually the beat to the intro to this space. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Got a new hold screen. Check that out. Be back shortly. Here we are, back. I'm just chipping away at the bit over here as far as the stuff going out there to you guys. But yeah, we're going to get in the weeds on this album. And we'll still continue the synth. We'll continue everything going through it. But I think I'm going to take this to Briz. If I don't find anybody in the area, in the Portland metro region, or anything, then yeah, I'll just take it to Briz and do content on Briz. We're not hurting for the money for it. We're just hurting to give it to the right person who's going to use it. I don't want it to sit in a shop or a storage or do something, but I do want to get the MPC Key 37, and I do want to get the Osmos. But those are all wants. It'd be nice to get the Osmos before finishing this album, so I can affect some of that expressiveness on the album and be the first to come out with that MPE and that expressiveness as far as the detail goes into hip-hop, because that would be a great thing. Other than that, take care, everybody. Appreciate you guys. As always, I can never stop showing my gratitude. We're almost on our 3rd year anniversary. July 30th, right after little Tussinn's birthday, will be our official 3rd year anniversary stream. And 3 years into it, yeah. It may get too busy to where I may be off of it, but like I said, the music is the content. And moving forward, it is all about the production, the mixing and mastering of this album. And the synth stuff will be in between. There's no reason why we can't do both. But the priority is and always will be the music. So make sure you like, subscribe, become a member, do what you can to support, because we ain't going no place. And this album will be a classic, so you guys are about to see some shit, like how everything is made. And a lot of you guys, you know what? I respect you guys, and I appreciate you guys for the professionals that you guys are for the most part, and understanding a lot of this stuff and having the patience of some of the fuckery that I've been dealing with over here, not only on YouTube, but, with the computer situation and all that stuff, and my contentiousness with old bitch boy Phantom over here. But that's cool. It's all content. It's all love. It's all hip-hop. That shit ain't even close to dead. Fucking Tony's. At the Tony's? Broadway? When did you ever see hip-hop at the Tony's? Y'all motherfuckers keeping up this conversation or playing yourself. If you're having any other conversation, then hip-hop is alive and well, and needs more focus on what it actually is versus the perception of reality from the powers that be. Yeah, they want it gone. They always want it gone. It was volatile then, it's volatile now. But you know what? It's up to us. Gen X. Old gang. Love y'all. Take care. See you next time. Peace, guys.